Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Onoha. Good evening, Obadara. Good evening, Shetuku. Just feel good. How's our day been? Trust our day has been good. I believe you can hear me very well. Trust our day has been good. My day was fine, Onoha. Thank you. Good evening, Debbie. Same here, Onoha. It's good to see you too. Good evening, Miracle. Trust you're fine. Good evening, Chidera. So, good evening, Black. Let's wait for others to join. Let's wait for others to join. Let's just try to wait for others to join. Good evening, Washington. So we are having a revision. So we are through with all the classes and everything. The topics we've covered so far. We'll be having a revision, and I don't want to start talking about. Uh, I don't want to start spelling some things out now. Let me start to wait for. Let's wait for others to join. So I won't have to repeat myself again. So far, we've been able to cover, 28, more than 28 services, so AWS service. So I mean, we've been able to all the topics joined together when we were talking about storage, databases, when we group them into sections. So far, there are about 28 topics altogether. Yes. So today I'll be doing a revision on 18 of them. Why my wonderful colleague will take the remaining eight. I say eight, 10. So let's wait for others to join. Yes, it's revision. So don't worry, I don't want to start saying anything when we. So by 7, let's say 7:11. Yeah, 7:11, 7:11. That time is good. So by 7:11, we are going to start. So let's wait for others to come in. Mm-mm-mm. So we can just get our water beside us and every other thing that's needed for us to help us during this journey. So, sister, I want some gold. This is that. I want some gold. Hey, Cindy, Your grammar is okay. Okay, I should start. Okay, you won't soon go to church. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But let's give some other person some few minutes. Okay, tell me how many of us are online now? Cindy, can you give the number of people that are online? Let me check my other screen. Whew. So let's get our questions ready. Although for the services we'll be covering today and the topics we'll be covering. So let's get our questions. 13. Wow. So we usually have about at least 30 something thereabouts. So please, let's wait for others to join. So let's stretch our legs while we wait for others to join us. This week is gonna be hot. Yes, hey, we used to be 42. Yes, yes, around 42. Oh no, you're correct. We used to be 42. Then later, we will now be seeing when we go back to how many of us usually go back to the videos. We'll see like 1K views, see like 800 views, 600 views. I know it's not just we within Lita that are watching the videos. It's open to anyone to come and learn. So let's 7-Eleven. I've said it's 7-Eleven. So this week is going to be hot to miracle because my colleague and I we've set 30 questions. Chima, good evening. We've set 30 questions, 30 hot questions, 30 hot questions. And trust me, this is not a normal question. So I'd like you guys to go back, even with in the revision, it's just one slide for each topic. We are going to make it maybe 1 minute, 30 seconds. Excuse me. 1 minute, 30 seconds for each question. So to just help us. All is objective. Then we'll have the side where there'll be projects. We're also going to do projects. I guess might do two projects. So I really wish this platform is an interactive platform where we can, you understand? I won't just be seeing you guys typing. I won't just be seeing your face, that your lips are not moving or your eyes are not moving, picture is just there. You understand? And I know very, very soon, sure. So where you guys will be asking questions, you understand, we'll be having conversation. But it's all good. 1 more minute. 1 more minute, and we're going to start. Here, there's project, there's mentorship session. Trust me, later they are fully prepared for you guys. They have everything for you guys. We are grateful for the sponsor. We are grateful for the people that are managing everything. Everything. Let's just put it that way. 7-Eleven. I'm saying this, so it's the I'm not the one that will talk about using. So trust me, you guys are much, and it's not. We are just seeing 47 people online. Trust me, I hope we have seen the telegram and amount of people that answered the question. I guess my colleague and I, when we were doing a review of it, I guess wasn't about 90 something students or thereabouts that filled that answered the questions that we did. You know, about 97 of us or thereabout when we calculated. So let me just give us about how many people do we have online now? Can I get a number? How many people do we have online now? Can somebody give me a number? How many people do we have online now? And I say we're going to start by 7:11. 21 people. Hmm. Normally, we usually have. So please, I don't want anyone to miss today's lecture. You understand? Because we are really, really going to. I'm going to spill some things out for us. Good evening, Charity. 22. I'm coming. Give me 1 minute. 1 minute. So let's go. So good evening, everyone. Good evening once again. So please, I'd like us to pay close attention to today's lecture. So he said we are going to have 30 questions objective. Yes. So I'd like us to pay close attention to today's mm, will I say today's section. So we might not even stay here up to 8:30. You understand? So it's going to be an interactive section. So you guys, I would really love it if you can move to your laptop. You understand? Absentees will pay fine in dollars. Exactly. I'll be sending my dollar account, so they'll be paying it directly into my dollar account. Thank you, Mr. Ayano, for that. Absentees today. In fact, okay, so let me proceed. So it's going to be an interactive section. So where you guys will have to be with your laptop. You understand? So you can quickly type, and those of us that hands are fast can quickly type. I'm not going to be spinning out everything or just be rushing through this thing. You guys also will be teaching me based on what you've learned so far. You understand? Because the slides are just very short, very, very short. Should we get? Very, very short. So it's going to be an interactive section, even though I'm not going to be hearing or speaking, but please, I like our fingers to be typing. Should we get? So now we've started the revision. Trust me, we have really, really uh, uh, covered a lot of AWS services that is even beyond the cloud practitioner level. Trust me, after this, we go over the slides over and over again. Excuse me, and the revision questions that are going to be sorry, the questions that are going to be given to us, you guys can sit for the cloud practitioner exam and pass it. I'm telling you, can sit for the cloud practitioner exam and pass it. So you get. So during the mentorship section also, we're going to be teaching us some things. So please and please, please, you can tell your friends and every other person that has missed today's class, go back to this revision. My colleague and I were going to be spilling out so many things, so you understand. So the 30 questions have been set already, just theory and objective. And I had to add some little ones that we have not come across before. There are some ones that you have to take your time. You have to take your time to really, really, really understand the question. And we are going to make it just 1 minute 30 seconds for each question. 1 minute 30 seconds. And there's going to be a cutoff mark. Yes, there's going to be a cutoff mark. There's going to be a cutoff mark. And the cutoff mark is going to be, maybe we'll do it like AWS standard too. Let's just say 70%. You understand? Anything below 70%. So let's do 72%. We'll do 72% because AWS cutoff mark is 720 over 1000. So good evening, Akisoki. Akisuku, sorry, for Miami. So, so the exam question that we set. What else again did I want to tell us about? Uh, I would like us to go over the videos, watch them over and over and over again. If you go to like the first three weeks, you will see you have more than the views you're having is about 2K or thereabout. I saw that even me myself I was amazed. That's to tell you how vital the information that we are passing across to you. You understand? Lita has really, that's an incubator in Nigeria. They've really invested so much, giving you people the best facilitators and everything. Trust me, you guys are so how will I put it? Which word will I use? You're so opportune to be on this platform. You understand? Out of the many you have been chosen, just very few of you. So once again, I even want to even congratulate you guys, you ladies. I'm not supposed to say guys, you ladies on this journey. Trust me, you guys are amazing. For the fact that you're able to stay all through, you understand, is it shows how strong you understand your minds are and how determined you are. So please, let's don't relent, even up until now. Trust me. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, "Our hands have started it, our hands will complete it." So we've started it, our hands are going to complete it. So after the revision, please, I guess it's going to be next week when we're going to do the exam. Please, I would like us to go over the videos again. Go over the videos again, watch it. You can just download it on YouTube and just save it. I know why I'm saying all these things. You understand? I'm expecting us to get above 72 thereabouts. Hmm? So, and this question is the same way they're going to set it. It's just that in Amazon standard, say, the way they said they are is multiple questions. So there are multiple options. Sorry, but we didn't do multiple um, options thereabout. So let's start. Can I get a fly, please? Can I get a fly? If you like us to dive in, I know I've been talking since some people be like, this Mr. Moses has been talking. So can I get a fly? Okay. Okay, shows you ladies are alive. Okay. So I guess they're going to remove me away from the road now. So you won't stop seeing this handsome face. So I'll be covering just 8 topics today. So like I said, services and topics that has been covered so far. So I'm covering 18 of them today. So the AWS Global Infrastructure and Core Services, introduction to cloud computing. I'm so sorry, it's supposed to be cloud computing first. It was not cloud computing before but all good. So AWS Global Infrastructure and AWS Core Services. Uh, oh, I repeated that. No way. No way. Please give me 1 minute, please. I guess it was when I was doing some editing. Oh, I believe you are good to go. I believe you are good to go. Okay, so and the list goes on, assessing AWS services, AWS shared responsibilities, the IAM, KMS, and security services, like, and every other one. So let's address them one by one. So it's just one slide for each of them, and we are going to make this class interactive. So when we talk about the AWS global infrastructure and core services, so from your own perspective, good evening, Olushola. So based on what you've been taught and your research, so can I get people just telling me about what you know about this global infrastructure and core services? When we talk about global infrastructure, apart from what I've stated here, do you understand? In your own way, in your own word, Trust me, they are IT terms, and when learning IT, I believe everyone should have their own way to remember things. You understand? The way they remember things in such a way that, for example, you've seen me use so many analogy. You understand? Analogy sometimes help people to have a deeper understanding of each services of what they are trying to learn. So whenever you remember the analogy or whatsoever case study that is being used to explain that particular service or topic, you understand, it just comes easily. So from the global infrastructure, AWS global infrastructure and core services, can you can anybody just tell me what you know, what you remember about this? Everybody, let me count how many people are online now. Let me see how many people are online. So I like everybody to participate in this. So let's get it coming. Remember, we have 17 more to go. Okay, there are 30 people online now. There are 30 people online now. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. What's happening? Tell me, somebody to tell me about the global infrastructure. Trust me, I'll be just be telling us 30% of this, of each of this topic. The remaining 70% will be coming from us. Good evening, Lazy. You're welcome. So I'm expecting answers in the comment box. I'm expecting answers. What is Anoluwa? What is okay? Okay, actually everybody's here already. Hmm? Like I said, I won't just be teaching. This one is not teaching. Quickly. Hello, what's going on? AWS. Oh, I get it. Are people going to the slide? And I see. It's like people are going to the slides to go and get them. Hey, are people going to the slides to go and get them? This lady too. Are we going to the slides to go and get them? Trust me, it's very simple. Okay, what's saying okay, there are structures put in place to ensure cloud computing service runs smoothly. Yes, 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 you're correct. You're correct. So please let it come in. Okay, oh, we are typing. Some persons are going to the slide to go and, you understand, do copy and paste. Don't come and copy and paste. Me myself, what are they calling this in that the text if one uses ChatGPT or anything? I know how to find out when someone does that. So please, what's your question? My question is, we are doing this together. So based on what we have been taught so far, this is not a new topic. That is a new AWS service. So you're going to tell me what you know about this now. You understand? Based on what you've been taught and based on your own research. So you understand? Pure backing. Okay. So it's coming in there. AWS Infrastructure is a setup that ensures AWS services remain reliable and close to users worldwide. And close to users worldwide. And close to users worldwide. Okay. Uh, Provides databases, storage facility, and computing services. Ayola, okay. So, you know what we're talking about? AWS Global. I want everybody. So, we'll not leave yet by 9. After 9, no. Onua, where are you? Miracle. Okay, Miracle has dropped that one. Okay, Obadari. Yes. These are structures put in place to ensure smooth running of application. Hey, some people are doing some. Okay. Okay, about the permission, sir. We'll send it to okay. Global infrastructure mainly has to do with regions, AZs, and data centers. Okay, which are needed in smooth running of cloud computing. Okay, Musinde, no problem. But please, when it's around 8 or thereabout, you have to quickly come to mark attendance on Musinde. Our guy at the top, they are watching you. They say they are going to be paying, is it $5? And I'm going to drop my dollar account. Okay, that's good. Okay, okay, okay. Yes, now Sunday charity. Okay, yes. Now you say, hey, this is what we are talking. So in order for us to speed things up, you guys should, you ladies should quickly drop these things as I'm asking. Okay, yes. Hey, you're giving me goosebumps now. Hmm? That's it. That's it. Yes, these guys are. I can't be reading everything, but trust me, I'm going through all. Yes. So far, you ladies are good. That's good. That's good. That's good. We have 33 online. Okay, so that's good. So when we talk about the AWS global infrastructure, so, I remember I told us when we talk about AWS is a cloud service provider. We have other services like Azure, GCP, and the rest of them. So you understand, virtually all of them have their global infrastructure and core services, but their name different and the features also are different, but they perform almost the same thing. These are infrastructure put in place for smooth running. Okay, these are places where structures are erected to enable low latency. I like that, Adaobi. The services that are made available by. Yes, so the core components, regions, AZ, edge locations. So you understand, when we talk of regions, geographic areas that contain multiple data centers. So you understand, when we talk of AZs, isolated locations within a region to ensure HA. So you understand. So when we talk of edge locations, sites that deliver content to end users with low latency. So when we're talking about edge locations now, can anybody tell me a service in AWS that does caching? A service in AWS that does caching. A service in AWS that does caching. A service in AWS that does caching. Anybody? You've covered it. Anybody? Anybody? Service in AWS that does caching. I want to be fast than this. Service in AWS that does caching. Okay, it's CloudFront. It's CloudFront. So let's look at the explanation. AWS global infrastructure is designed to provide high availability, fault tolerance, and scalability. And scalability, yes, CloudFront and scalability. Regions and easy allowed applications to remain operational even if one location experiences issues. So we understand when you have your applications hosted in different maybe regions or different AZs, if one AZ is shut down, you have your application still running, but there's a failover. That's true. And Gloria is not Elastic Cache, it's CloudFront. So let's move to the other one. Introduction to cloud computing. So remember when we're talking about introduction to cloud computing, we talk about IaaS, talk about PaaS, we talk about SaaS. So these are how will I put it? Think of them. This has to do with cloud computing. You understand? When we talk of the infrastructure as a service, we are talking about visualized computing resources over the internet. Hmm? Over the internet. Talking about visualize computing over the internet. So I'm going to speed up a little bit. So when we talk of platform and service, we're talking about tools and services for application development. So when we talk about SaaS, we're talking about software delivered over the internet. So you see, we have just making mention of internet. So cloud computing enables on-demand access to computing resources, allowing business to scale efficiently and reduce costs associated with traditional IT infrastructure. So we understand. So let's move on. 30 minutes already gone. I didn't know. So when we talk about, okay, like I said, yes, yes. So now is AWS and AWS core services. So the core services in AWS, every application uses a compute, a storage, no, it's not AWS Glue, a storage and a database and networking services. They are the fundamental building blocks for cloud applications. That fundamental building block for cloud application. You understand? Every application is running on a server. That server has a storage, or and that storage can be that server has an attached storage. When we talk about an attached storage, we are talking about EBS. We are talking about an ephemeral storage. We are talking about instant store. You understand, that comes with the server. You understand? But when we're talking about EBS, is the block storage that is attached to the EC2 instance, for example, now. So when we're not talking about storage, we have something called the S3, like we remember. Understand? And there are varieties of databases too. And when we talk about networking services, we're talking about the VPC, we're talking about the components of the VPC. So these are a building block for the application. These are, let me use in my own words, these are what allows the application to breathe well. So you understand, all these things added together are what makes the application comfortable to run very well and effectively in the cloud. So AWS provides a comprehensive suite of services that can be combined to build scalable and resilient applications. These services include computation, that's EC2, storage, S3, database, RDS, DynamoDB. Who can mention another database for me? Anybody? Another type of database? Anybody? Another type of database? Anybody? Like I said, our hands have to be on our laptop. Hands have to be on our laptop. Aurora. Good. Baccarat. That's good. Maria TV. Wow. Yes, Aurora. So remember we said Aurora is also serverless, and we have the one that is not serverless. So when we say SQL, the Aurora, yes, is correct. Oracle database is correct. So let's move to the other one. Yes, let's move to the other one. So we said Aurora is AWS own proprietary database. So let's move. Accessing AWS services. So when we talk about accessing AWS services, we're talking about how we can get hold of these AWS services that we've just learned about. You understand? It's not just somewhere anybody can just enter. There are actually ways at which you can use to get these AWS services. The most common one is through the management console that everybody does. Everybody knows how to do that. You understand? It's the web-based interface for managing AWS services. The other way is AWS CLI. So it's a command line tool for interacting with AWS services. So when we launched an EC2 instance that my colleague did, when we wanted to have access to the EC2 instance, we did it via the CLI. So another way we can have access to the AWS services using the AWS SDK. So for Python, we have the Boto 3. I know we didn't cover that, but for our level, we don't even need to know that. Is it a network now that's allowing you guys? So we have 35 watching online. So that's good. Okay, so users can access AWS service through multiple interfaces, enabling flexibility in managing resources and automating tasks. So when it comes to automating tasks, so we make use of the CLI. Don't let me even go too deep into that, or the SDKs. So let's move on. So when we talk about the shared responsibilities, so the AWS shared responsibility, who can just tell me like some key points that we spoke about? I believe I was the one that even talked about AWS shared responsibility, if I remember very well. Who can just tell me about the key point we spoke about when it comes to shared responsibility model? Anybody, just tell me what you know, some key points that if you that we spoke about. Anybody? Anybody? I'm waiting. Customer in the cloud and provider of the cloud. Hmm. I'm trying to wrap my head. When we say AWS is responsible for keeping the resources secure. That word miracle. AWS is not responsible for keeping the resources secure. Now, they are responsible for keeping the hardware resources. So there's even difference between resources and services. I remember I told us when we're talking about a service, S3 is a service. When we launch a bucket, when we create a bucket, the bucket there is a resource. So AWS take care of the cloud while you oversee your space. Okay, I like this that this is coming. This is not coming from a chat GPT or coming from anywhere. This is coming from. So this is actually good. So the overall security is in the hands of both AWS and customer. That's great, Oluwaseun. AWS is responsible for the cloud, why we are responsible in the cloud. Okay, that's great, Chida. Security in the cloud. This is responsible for security in the cloud. Ayola. Shared responsibility model is talking it's talking security of the AWS by the customer. Okay, security in the cloud and of the cloud. Okay, AWS in charge of the server while users are in charge of their resources. Okay, that's a great one. That's a great one. That's a great one, Robert. So it's good for us to understand just because AWS has given us a platform for us to make use of their services does not mean they have the workload for security should be on them. So you understand, we also have a responsibility. So that's when the AWS, that's why the AWS shared responsibility model came up. For customers and AWS, the provider, know their own responsibility. You know, responsibilities make people responsible. So we are responsible for whatsoever that is being put in the cloud. Hmm? AWS is responsible for the security of the cloud. Whatever services you launch in AWS, you're responsible for taking care of it. So AWS is responsible for making sure that service is functioning well. So you understand? Okay. So let's still let it be coming in, please. Let it be coming in. Hmm. AWS is responsible for the security of the cloud, and the client is responsible for the security of the cloud. That's good. Security of the cloud. And the client is responsible for security in the cloud. In the cloud. Security in the cloud. Of the cloud is AWS. In the cloud is the client. So AWS stands for protecting the infrastructure that runs the services. Oh, this is good. I like this. I like this, Tina. So come on. I know I told us. Let's bring it all in, please. Let's bring it all in. You ladies are trying seriously. Okay, the security and compliance. AWS is responsible for the security of the cloud, while the customer is responsible for security in cloud. That's good, Baccarat. Okay. Security of the cloud is for the AWS. but customers just want to secure their data. This is it now. This is it. So you are teaching me now. This is good. This is good. So we already know shared responsibility. So there are about 46 people watching now. So that's great. So the core components are security of the cloud and security in the cloud. So it's very, very simple. So understanding the shared responsibility model is crucial for compliance and security. AWS provides the tools, but customers must configure and manage their own security. You understand? Their own security. I don't want to give any analogy because my analogy at times can be very, 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 very can trigger some laugh. So I believe, trust me, you ladies are already good. So let's fly. Let's fly. So I am not I am that I am. This is I am AWS. AWS I am. So with AWS they should be careful. It's not I am that, it's I am. So when we're talking about I am, who can just brief me, just drop a bomb, just tell me what you know about I am, based on your research, you understand, and every other thing like we've seen so far. Who can just tell me about this guy called I am? Anybody? Come on, let's get those fingers moving. I am. Come on. Just think. Trust me, whatever you I am manage access to AWS service. Okay, that's a good one, Gloria. That's a good one. Okay, so it manages who you allow access to your resources. That's good. I am has different components that helps to contrast your this oh now people Incubator will not employ people like this. You are already ready. You are job ready already. Hey, you are job ready. I am okay. I am is a web service that helps in secure. Yes, man, that's it. Identity and Customer is a web service that helps to securely control. Oh no, no, I don't think we have anything to cover here. Trust me, you people, I don't know. People are just now. I'm the one that is now scared for the questions I've set because I believe you people don't spend like 30 seconds to answer these questions with these responses and these answers you people are bringing about the services. Hmm? Say it's like I'll go and add 20 more questions, so, and I will set the 20 questions by myself. You ladies are really, really trying. So users can be you. Users are entity. Users can be a service. So you understand? Okay. Groups. So groups are when we say one, two, three, or four users. So we talk about roles. Roles are what we attach to AWS services to give them access to other AWS services. So manage access to AWS resources. So that's great. I am represent a person that interacts with. Oh, people are AWS I am is giving access to the main people to secure. Yes, AWS I am manages access, like say identity and access management. So I don't want to talk more. You people are already load. I like it as your fingers are moving. Okay, on I am start for Amazon. So Amazon identity. Okay, identity and access management. Okay, the service that help one manages who can access your AWS resources. Let me quickly say this. Based on AWS best practices. Should I should I should I say this? Let me think. This is 7:44. We covered we come in 1 minute. Let me know how many we covered before I start dropping all this. Oh, please let's move. Let's move. Let's move. Uh so that's good. So KMS. So, but first thing first. Okay, I was talking about based on AWS best practices. What does AWS advise us when we first of all create an AWS account? So AWS advises us not to use the root access to be accessing to be logging into your AWS account. So they advise us to create either an admin or a user, you understand, that can always have access to your AWS account. So when you create, I remember, I guess my colleague must have taught us. So it's best practice not to always use your root user access to log into your AWS account every time. Only if you want to what's that word again? Only if you want to maybe change the billing account, or you want to give access to someone, or to make another person an admin. So you understand. But it's best practice to create an admin or to create a user whenever you create an AWS account for so many purposes. So let's move. So KMS. So what comes to your mind when we hear of KMS? What comes to your mind when you hear of KMS? Is a word that comes to your mind. Just a word. Anybody. Just one word. Yes, roles are used to delegate access to users. Yeah. So we attach roles to users. We also attach roles. No, nah, you miracle. You people, eh? Oh, let's end this class. Let's end this class. Eh? There's no need for revision. Let's end this class. So encryption, encryption, encryption is the first thing that comes to your mind. Trust me, all these things are key things that will help us in our exam. So there's when the AWS exam questions are being said, when you want to do the exam, encryption, yes. There are some questions that, like the multiple questions, you are meant to have, as 2 minutes to deal about. Once you know you have and you already know the questions, you just remove the questions, the options that are distractions. You understand? So how can you identify them? Is used knowing these keywords. They are called keywords. Mr. Ayano, they are great. So keywords. So knowing all these keywords like encryption, you understand when you're given a question that's related to security, and they're trying to act, and they're telling you which of these services is best for this uh for this purpose. You know, so when we talk about security, which AWS service can best fit this scenario. You understand? So before they even talk about encryption, you understand? They won't even talk about encryption. They will just list the AWS services, key management, KMS, IAM. So once you already understand the question, and you maybe, for example, in the question you just see encryption, you already know they are talking about KMS. Even though IAM is here, even though which other service helps with encryption again? IAM, KMS. So even though all those other services are there, you already know they're talking about encryption because it's already written in the question. So you don't need to spend that 2 minutes to answer that question. So when we're talking about KMS, we're talking about encryption. Keys. I know I told us that there are encryption in transit and encryption at rest. So you understand? Encryption in transit, when the transit means when the data is moving from one place to another, you understand, when it's in the air, like when it's still moving in the air, even though we don't see it. You know, while it's in the air, it's being encrypted. And when it gets to the final destination, that is encrypted at rest. Yes, the questions are objective. So keys and create and manage cryptographic keys. Integration with AWS services, protect data across. So KMS can be used for all AWS services when it comes to encryption. So AWS KMS enables you to encrypt data and manage keys centrally, ensuring data security and compliance with regulatory requirements. So let's move. Let's move. So we're talking about now, we are actually talking about an AWS service. We're talking about EC2 instance. So who can tell me which one is the resource and which one is the service? Between the between the EC2 and this, I've already said the answer. Between the EC2 and instance, or is it just something that has to do with the service? Which one is the service? Which one is the resource? Or it's like it's both of them? So who can just tell me? Because me myself, I'm confused. Let me see who can help us out here. Which one is the resource and which one is the... So I want you to clarify it, Ayola. So you can say EC2 is the resource, instance is the service. So I'm waiting. I've said it. No, not I can say it. Maybe it's your network. Yes, EC2 is the service. No, just make it clear. Chi Alex, EC2 is the virtual compute while instance is the service. Which one? Okay, let me talk about which one. Then I move to the next one. EC2 is the service. That's good. EC2 is the service. Ah, you people are too much. Eh? You are too much. Yes. Instance is the no. Yes, instance is the resource, EC2 is the service. It's good to know this. 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 So yes, yes. So okay, now you people are getting it. So which one did we create? Which one did we create between the two of them? Which one did we create? Which one did we configure? Which one did we set up? Which one did we create? Which one did we configure? Which one did we set up? Which one did we create? Which one did we create EC2? EC2 service wise, or did we? Which one did we create? Which one did we set up? Which one did we configure? Let me wait for us. No, I don't want to say things, sir. We configure the instance. We configure the instance. We create the instance. Yes. We create the instance. So we don't create the EC2, it's the service on its own. You understand? We create the instances. Yes. We create the instances. We launch an EC2 instance. We launch an instance. Like the word instance even confused me the first time I heard about it. I was like, what is instance again? It's not, for instance. What are those? So there's no time. Let's move. I'm not going to talk. So we said there are different types of EC2 instance now. We talked about the different type of EC2 instance. So how do we differentiate from all these EC2 instance? Some of them have bigger memory, some of them have bigger storage, some of them have they just focus just on memory, they focus on compute. So you understand, like the T2 micro, like the M4 large, and the rest of them. So there are different types of EC2 instances. So we understand which fit specific for they are meant for, they are built for specific purposes. Okay, so we're talking about the IAM, so the Amazon machine image. So it's a pre-configured templates for launching instances. Okay, so it's almost time for break. It's like I have to run. No, see, you people are actually no. I'm like, come on, we know how to teach too. So let's go. So we're talking about autoscaling, ASD for short, and ELB. So who can just tell me, use the two of them to create a scenario, how both of them can help each other, how both of them can meet a use case, real life scenario now. Very So who can just use the both of them? You understand? Both of them, how can they work together to fit in to address an issue? Let me put it like that. Don't let me use any technical term. Understand? How can they both work together? How can they be integrated together to solve a problem? Anybody? I know we can say this is for this is for this, but let's see how we can use them both. You understand? Just think. Now, I will give us like 2 minutes to really. Let me come up with the question again. Both services can be integrated together for a specific purpose. So create a scenario whereby you can use both of them. You understand? Just short. Anybody? Or is it too much? Is it too much? I know many of us will because it's because of the typing. Because of the typing. I know. Because of the typing. But trust me, it's necessary. It's necessary. Okay, scenario restaurant with staffs having multiple server to attend to customer request elastic load balance in my opinion. Okay. Restaurant with staff. Okay, in we are talking about a coffee shop. Okay, let me see other people's auto scaling and load balancer. And now, but that is auto scaling. We know it's auto scaling and load balancer. Tell me something about auto scaling and load balancer. When you don't have space, you scale, but many or maybe increasing or duplicating. Why the LLB helps to navigate. Oh, this one is huge. I understand what you're saying, Adaobi. I understand what you're saying. I understand. I understand. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. In the coffee shop, when the demand are how much, okay. I know some of us want to quickly draw what they are typing, but no problem. I understand. Just let it come. Just take your time. So after this one, we are going to go for a short break. And trust me, when I come in, I'm going to be very fast. But load balancer helps to distribute data to avoid traffic. Mm, mm. You know, who can tell me? I was the one that who can tell me the analogy I used for a load balancer? See, anybody that can tell me the analogy I used for load balancer, there was an analogy I used for load balancer. I'm sending the person 1K card. You just chat me up on Telegram. No, there was an analogy I remember very well. While I was saying it, I didn't write it down. I said it while I was talking about elastic load balancer. Anytime I think of elastic load balancer, there's something that comes to my head. No, it's not bank. If you go and watch the video, you will see I said it. Yes, yeah. No, not food. When we're talking about food was when I used an EC2. Is it EC2 instant? No. When we're using S3. What is the chip? No. 2K. 2K. I'm ready now. 2K. I really want to. So please, after this, we are going to go for break. There was an analogy. I said anytime elastic load balancer comes to my mind, there's something I use. Once it's 8, I'm going to close it. I don't want anybody to go and be looking at the video. I'm serious. On Telegram, the person should just DM me privately. You understand? And I'm going to send that person 2K. So I said it anytime, no, when we are talking, anytime I hear of elastic load balancer, there's something that comes to my mind. Let me see, not bakery shop, not coffee shop. Instance created. Why is it two is okay? Follow me, your network is slow. Anybody? I didn't want anyone to go and watch it though. Traffic, no. There's an analogy. Okay, let me drop it to I will drop it to 1K if I have to say this now. So I made mention when I was talking about elastic load balancer. When I was talking about elastic load balancer, there's an animal I said that comes to my mind. Yes, there's an animal I said that I remember very well. You know, when you have the Holy Spirit, it helps you remember everything. It's your money. Ah, so no, there's an animal that said that comes to my mind. No, what is like? We know the work of an elastic load balancer now. You understand? There's an animal I used as an analogy. Octopus, octopus. Abibola, that's it. Octopus. So Abibola, message me. Let's go for break now. Abimbola, I don't know. Drop a message for me in the in Telegram, and let me send you the 2K, whichever way you want it. So that's good. So let's go for break. Let's go for break. It's not ego, it's octopus. Remember, I told us elastic balancer distributes. I remember I said it. I remember when I was teaching. So let's go for break and we're going to come back. Let's go for break and we're going to come back. Let's go for break. Let's quickly. The break now means sorry, Miracle. The break means we should mark our attendance. So, ladies, let's mark our attendance. And that one is coming again. There's under 2K. Let's mark our attendance, please. So we're taking a break now. Okay, so I believe before mark the attendance, let's proceed. Let's proceed. This time we're going to be very, very fast. This time we're going to be very fast. So, okay, Don. Abimbola, you are not on the Telegram group. Mayokun. You are not on the Telegram group. Okay, we are back. Abimbola, you're meant to be on Telegram group. That means you've not been boarded, or which word would I say? So what would I use now? If you remember, Onoha, you remember I said, if you go back to the video on autoscaling, Jonathan to autoscaling and ELB, you will see, listen very well. Towards the end, if I remember vividly well, I said there's an animal that comes to my mind. So there's no time. There's no time. I want to cover all this. So let's move. I mean, Bola, I need you to DM me. Oh. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. You're meant to be on the little group, the little Telegram group. So let's move. Let's move. So auto scaling, think of it, it scales in and scales out. You understand? Increase the size, as its size, the number of your EC2 instances, and decrease them. The elastic load balancer distribute traffic. For example, let's say you have those EC2 instances in an auto scaling group, and you have about 5 or 6 of them. The auto scale, the ELB uses what are they calling it again? Uses health check to direct traffic to the EC2 instance that are still okay. So let's move. Serverless. So when we talk about serverless now, we are actually talking about Lambda. So when we talk about serverless, we don't actually mean what's the what this what comes to mind when you hear serverless is you not having to configure the server yourself. You understand? All you need to do is just to run your code without provisioning the servers. So you understand? So you can also use this serverless, for example, Lambda and API gateway. You understand, to help you. So you can use Lambda to trigger, use Lambda function to trigger. Yeah, you can set. Sorry, what am I saying? I'm so sorry. I want to talk about microservices a bit. So with Lambda, coupled with API gateway, coupled with DynamoDB, we know DynamoDB is a serverless database. You understand? You can build up microservices. You understand? You can also use Lambda as an event-driven service whereby it gets, once the Lambda function is being triggered, your code starts to run. So we understand. So serverless computing allows developers to focus on code rather than infrastructure, enhancing agility and reducing operational overhead. So you don't have to configure or set up or choose the type of size, choose the type of EC2 instances or thereabouts. So you understand. So let's move on. So S3, we talk about S3, but remember that we said this is storage, AWS own storage service. So say it's a container for storing objects. Files stored in S3 can be any type of data, any type of file you can store in S3. So S3 provide durable, scalable object storage with high availability for backup, archiving. Who can tell me one storage class in S3 that does archiving? Anybody? Sorry, class in history that does archiving. Time has gone. I'm so sorry. When I talk too much, you can tell me that does archiving. What's that guy's name again? One of the story classes in history that does archiving. Anybody, anybody, anybody. Okay, we're talking about glacier. I wanted to say it. That's good, Chidera. That's good, glacier. So let's move now. So we're talking about EBS and EFS. Yes, history glacier. EBS and EFS. So EBS is the one that we configure alongside with our EC2 instances. You understand? For EFS, on the other hand, we think of it like it's on its own. You understand? But yes, it's S3 Glacier. It's S3 Glacier. So the EBS is a block storage, while the EFS is a file system. So you understand? So EBS is used for persistent storage attached to the EC2 instance, while EFS provides scalable file storage for application that requires shared access. What data? What date is the exam? I guess it's next week. Next week. It's next week. So, overview of AWS backup, disaster recovery, and elastic disaster service recovery service. So, AWS backup, like we said, to centralized backup service for all AWS resources. Behind the hood, the service that is hosting all this data that's been backup is S3. You understand? On the high level side, just so we know, it's S3. But we don't know. You understand? They're just calling it AWS backup. So just a tip for us. So this is on the professional level side. So S3 is the service that is being used. You understand? Behind the hood that we don't see. So disaster recovery strategy will be a method to recover data application in case of failure. Understand? Where you actually have something else on your application listed in another region or thereabout. Remember we talked about different type of disaster recovery, the pilots, pilot lights, the what are the warm standby, and the rest of them. So AWS backup automates backup processes, while DRS ensures minimal downtime and data loss in case of disaster. Let's move on. So virtual private cloud. So divide the VPC into segments for resource organization. So when we're talking about our private cloud, we are talking about you isolating your AWS services or your application in the cloud. You understand? VPC has to do with networking. So it allows you to create isolated networks within AWS, providing control over the environment and enhancing security. So we see here that VPC also helps with security too. Hmm? So if you have any question, once you go to the maybe at the end of this, we are going to ask. So, but trust me, everything is in the slides. So this is just a revision, just to remember us, remind us about some things. So let's move. Overview of Elastic IP, NAT gateway, and VPC peering. You know, we can pair two VPCs together. You understand? But their cellular block must not be overlapping. So Elastic IP is a static IP address for dynamic cloud computing. You understand? You can move an Elastic IP and attach it to another instance and the rest. So NAT enables outbound internet access for private subnets. Remember, so NAT can also be placed in a private subnet. Yes, let me just say that. NAT can also be placed in a private subnet. It can also be placed in a public subnet, but most people know NAT to be placed in a public subnet. So it enables outbound traffic, internet access for private subnets. So connects VPC pairing connects two VPCs for insurance sharing. You understand? So this component enhance networking capabilities and enabling better resource management and communication between different parts of your infrastructure. You understand? With VPC pairing, you allow the resources in your VPC, maybe VPC A, to communicate with VPC B. You understand? You can even choose to launch an application VPC A that relies on the resources in VPC B. So securing VPCs. So we know we talked about security groups and we talk about Knuckles. Okay, I wanted to ask a question there. Now we know security group is at the instance level and Knuckles is at the subnet level. So let's don't forget that. Trust me, it's going to come out in the exam. That's the exam we set. The exam that we set. Think of that as a firewall for your institute instances and think of Knuckles as firewall for your subnet. So securing VPC involves configuring security groups and ACLs to protect resources from unauthorized access. Um, so let's move on. So we also talked about RDS, relational database service. Understand? So we talked about database engines. The RDS supports multiple engines like MySQL, Postgres, and Oracle, MariaDB, and the rest of them. So automated backups and snapshots. Yes, RDS has automated backups. They have snapshots. You know, so you can create a snapshot uh, uh, for your data rather. You know, so RDS simplifies database management, providing automated backups, scaling, and high availability. So take note when it comes to RDS, you enable uh, um, multi-easy. You understand? By default, the multi-easy is not being enabled. You understand? So you have to enable multi-easy. So this is a tip for us, even when we are doing the AWS exam itself. Take note, you have to enable multi-easy when configuring an RDS instance. So let's move forward. So we're talking about DynamoDB. So what comes to your mind when you hear of DynamoDB? Apart from it's a NoSQL database structure for storing data, so it's also a key value database. So you understand. So the provision and on-demand capacity, like I said, it's a serverless database. So it's flexible, scaling option based on workload. So it's a fully managed NoSQL database service that provides fast and predictable performance with seamlessly scalability. Like I said earlier, most companies now use DynamoDB, most especially when they want to the but when they for microservices. You understand? The micro one very popular pattern is you using an API gateway an API gateway, sorry, a Lambda, which is your compute, and also your DynamoDB. You understand? They are all serverless that you don't have to configure or set up, unlike RDS, EC2 instance, and Elastic Load Balancer. So let's move on. Is that all? What? Is that all? That's not all. Wow, that's all. Okay. I thought we still have some other. So yes, 18. So quickly, can I get do we have any questions? Like we said, this week is just revision based on all what we've covered so far. Do we have any questions? I thought maybe I don't want to spend much time on each of these slides. So you understand. So that was hard to speed up. So we won't have to stay till 9 because it's just revision. So I even want the services that are being covered today that we did revision on. We can go back and go and watch them accordingly. Now, this how they are. You can even go through the slides. You understand? We can go through the slides. If you go through the slides, you will see when you go to the platform, so the LMS, you will see the same way I listed out everything. Let me go back. Yes, the same way it's being listed out here, the same way is on the platform. So you can just go to the slide, download the slides. That's why the slides are created for our own learning. Download the slides and just go through them. Whichever ones that is not clear, just go to the YouTube videos and um and know more about it. You understand, just to help yourself. And if you still have any other questions or you had any impediment, we are always there for you on Telegram. Huh? So, any questions? Any questions? Any multiplication, addition, subtraction? Abimbola Mayoko, I don't know why you are not on the Telegram. What about 274 members? I should ask you a question. Are you sure? Not that somebody will now go and be saying, is Ojura Ramdin that I should eat my money? Oh. I should ask the question. Okay. No, no, no wahala. Let me ask you questions now. Are you ready? Okay. Can I get 5 years? And I'm going to ask us questions. I like this. Okay. Okay, I know the why it's around. Okay, so let's do this now. Now, when we're talking about the disaster recovery options, who can mention how many disaster recovery options we have? And first of all, how many disaster recovery options do we have? How many disaster recovery options do we have? How many? I know, Lou, I've seen here too. Somebody has already collected 2K, about to collect 2K. So, four, okay? We have four, okay? So, we have four. Chidera, you're correct. Disaster recovery options. Remember, we said there were four of them, or four of them. Sorry. Remember, I said. So, who can mention them? Who can mention them? Who can mention them? Who can list them out for me? Okay, one standby. backup and restore, pilot light, warm standby, and multi-site. That's good. Chidera is just giving us back to back. What's going on? Chidera, what's going on? You need chin chin. Okay, let me even come up. I don't want to. If I ask us exactly what is being taught, you understand? You people are too, you are too much. You will remember quickly. So during the course of the training, during the course of the lesson, there are some things that I said. You understand? Like analogies that I used. That's the kind of question I'm going to be asking them, because I know if I ask us about what the services does or some other features, we get it. And my 2K will just enter voice. So, but let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember. So we're actually correct. We're actually correct. Let me do. Can I do it? Let me do a deep dive. I'm coming. I'm trying to think. Hmm. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Let me look for another service now. Okay. When configuring an EC2 instance now, when configuring an EC2 instance, uh, which storage, I'm not going to say it in a way that we're going to understand, which storage is attached, not attached now, that is automatically configured with the EC2 instance. You understand? And this storage, there's a word for it. First to type, we call that storage inframer. Who can tell me? Who can tell me the name of that storage? Who can tell me the name of that storage? That's all I can say. It's actually 1K. It's 1K this time around because I want to give like 2%. So who can tell me the name of that storage? No. I now use the word storage. No, now we use the word inframer. Hmm? We can't move it. We can't move it from one EC2 instance to another EC2 instance. We can move an EBS. We can detach from one EC2 instance and move it to another EC2 instance. You understand? We can create snapshots from EBS, but we cannot create snapshots from this very service I'm talking about. No, not Elastic Block Store. Not Ayami. What is Ayami? Okay, let me come again. Instant Store. Hey, Chidera is Instant Store. Yes, it's Instant Store. I won't give us simple because that question, the exam. So, Chidera, you are correct. Chidera, I believe you are on Telegram. We are in the distance. So, Chidera, so just message me. You have a 1K. Whatever, if you want data, tell me. If you want as data, if you want it as yes, it's instant store. But Chidera said it. Chidera said it first. So let me look for another question now. Let me look for another question. I'll make this one a bit hard. Let me see. And this will be the last question. Let me see. Yeah, so Chidera, quickly DM me privately. You hear? Coming. Try to look. The people are waiting. If I make it simple, you will quickly answer it. Let me see. 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 Uh, 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 what the question that's coming to my head is too simple. No, I can't do that. Don't chop my money, oh. nothing, no question is coming now. What's going on? Okay. Should I use this? Okay. Under VPC, mm, let me look for. I'm thinking of how to set it. How to how we want to get giveaway. And let me see now. Um, let me see. Eh, okay, we know there are different ways. Ah, so which in there are several resources in a VPC. We know there are many of them. I don't want to mention them. There are many of them. Let me make this one a bit simple. Which one of these resources within a VPC provides internet access to resources in the VPC? Which one of them provides internet access to resources within the VPC? Anybody first to type? So we'll just do this one and call it a day. No? No? Internet gateway. I know if I know Olua was there, she will laugh. So internet gateway, I know Olua, you have yourself 1K. So it's internet gateway. It's not class center, don't know. It's not CHI there. So let's call it a day. So I know Olua, Chidera, what's her name again? Abimbola. I don't know why you say you're not on Telegram. You're meant to be on the group. So it's internet gateway. Internet gateway. So that's 4K now. Let me see. Okay. Okay, time has gone already. So it's internet gateway. It's internet gateway. It's internet gateway. And remember, you want to give internet access to your resources. So let's call it a day. You ladies are too much. And if you go, you finish, you want to finish my money. You want to finish my money in this time. And you make it round figure 5K. Yes, 5K. So let's call it a day. Let's make a round figure. So please, you just quickly DM me anyone you want if it's this thing. But trust me, you people, you ladies are truly amazing. You understand? From the onset when we started it, the way you people, way we were answering the question, me myself, I was even scared. Going, that was going on. Me, I cannot complain to 5K. If I should complain to 5K, the question I'm going to ask will be very, very, very difficult. And I know my colleague thought it. I know my colleague. You want me to enter? So let's call it a day. Let's call it a day. Let's call it a day. So thank you so much for today's class. Thank you so much for today's class. Really love and appreciate you for always attending the class. Yes, well, I mean, you always your net is your network. Thank you so much. Seriously, even more than the gift or the giveaway. Trust me, you people are you are great. You are great. Thank you so much. So see you, ladies, tomorrow. I'm prepared for the exam, like I said, for this was our agendas are no lower. There are actually 30 questions that have been set, and I guess the exam is going to be next. Please go through the slides. There are some of the questions there that are actually hot, and the pass mark is 72. You understand? The pass mark is 72. And also, you have 1 minute, 30 seconds for each question. 1 minute, 30 seconds for each question. 1 minute 30 seconds for each question. Okay, so thank you so much. So I know Lua Chidera DM me. So and I need to see these pictures. How will I know? Another person not gonna enter and slide into my DM and say I'm Anolua when I'm not Anolua, or I'm Shidera when I'm not Shidera. Okay, so let's call it a day. Let's call it a day. It's probably next week. Probably next week. But don't worry, the dates will be shared across us. At most on TG Half. What's TG Half again? At most it's on Telegram app. Yes. Don't come to my DM, miracle. So on Thursday, we are going to complete the other section. That's about 10 services. No, 10 topics. Sorry, 10 topics that was covered, not services. 10 topics that was covered. So thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for the time spent. See you all on Thursday and prepare for your exam. And also project too. So let's call it today. Bye.